Welcome to the Fat Cats Rugby podcast, bringing you candid rugby conversations, great interviews and insights into Ugandan rugby, and a touch of rugby in Africa and the world over. Fat Cats Rugby podcast is a product of Fat Cats Media brand for all your audio-visual content needs and equipment hire. Hope you enjoy this episode.
No, please. Why did you remind me?
Yeah. All right. Welcome to the Fat Cats Rugby podcast. Yet another week of candid rugby conversations. My name is Ruben Kihumuro, and here with one of our usual Fat Cats, Caesar and Kuda. Caesar, how are you?
I'm okay.
Today is a particularly interesting day.
Yep.
There is a lot of feminine energy around us, but I just want to know, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good and bad.
Why was it bad?
Bad because of England rugby and
Did you have to talk about it? We talked about this before.
Good because of Cobs, of course, and Heathens losing points and Pirates. So Cobs.
If you had to celebrate Cobs, pick up the mic.
Go Cubs!
So welcome, ladies. I think I'll start with you since you're being very, very vocal. I want you to tell us a little bit about who you are. This is the point in the Fat Cats podcast where we really just get to know the speakers, the guests, our dear guests are Fred and Winnie B&B. Tell us about yourself. Tell us what you think the world should know about you.
My name is Murriel, and I bleed blue, Cobs all the way, and I think that's as interesting as it gets.
All right, but you have a particular YouTube show / podcast. You've not even talked about it. Free Kalango.
Managa, I didn't know Kalango. Kalango was allowed. I'm a blogger. I'm a published author. I'm a mother of one. And a boy who will not play rugby.
Hey. What is happening? So you support rugby, but you don't want your son to play rugby. Why?
We don't want broken bones in the family.
You can break your bones on a border on your way home.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
He will be a fan like my mother. We shall sit in the stand.
Anyway, Posha, I can see you quemolaring, but I would request you to pick up that mic and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm just amazed at how Caesar is nervous. The man has not said anything. Caesar, is it our neighborhood?
I understood you are not feeling well.
Really? Anyways, my name is Posha Loyo. My CV is very fat. I finish it.
Go Mani.
My name is Posha Loyo. I'm a TV producer. I am a radio host. I am a digital influencer. Kalebinji. I'm also someone's baby.
You just had to.
Name.
Somebody, best friend.
All right.
I give my neighbor. Let me hold for my neighbor. Caesar's sake.
What do you mean?
Hi guys.
Hi.
I'm Christine Nampera, and I'm a host. I'm a night host, and I'm a software engineer studying my year 4.
Akuda, what are you?
I'm a pirate.
Yay! Woo!
Yeah. So I'm also someone's baby.
But I'm about single, but to Jacob.
Wait, the amount of...
Anyway, the single corner is this side.
Are you sure?
Well, it's important to note that I'm neutral. I am neutral. I'm just still in love with my ex-pirates, but I'm neutral. I'm on this podcast as a neutral person.
Okay.
My name is Olivia Navirio. I'm an online English tutor. I heathen in and out with a soft spot for a lot of other clubs, but I'm a heathen.
Name names. It can't be Cobs, of course, but name names.
Number 2. No, it can't be pirates.
It's hippos.
Banangi.
Her number 2 is
My
hippos.
question.
I hate to say it because there are so many Cobs here, but yeah, Cobs is number 2.
Yeah. I want to ask.
It's very weird for a heathen's fund.
How is an English teacher handling Chadondo?
I guess the show has started.
They should see us.
Tell us.
We speak the English, guy. Upstairs.
Oh!
Listen,
Oh my God.
But maybe
When we run out of English, we slow down.
Does upstairs mean in the brain or at Chadi upstairs?
Chadi upstairs.
Okay.
English corner.
Upstairs.
That's what.
maybe going back to Christine. I mean, the saying that you learn something new every day is very interesting. No offense, I wouldn't have taken you to be a software engineer, and I'm very, very impressed by that. You also said you have a boo, but you guys have not named your boos. What is it with women and never naming your boos?
There are boos.
Eh? Confusing. They remind you. They even bring out a clip that you said here.
Posha might be here, he's the one I'm sending the pants.
You know.
You better say your
No man can share my boo. My boo, you'll borrow him, you return him.
So yeah, maybe one thing I think that maybe our viewers would want to understand better is what you meant by being a night host. You know, in this world of people, the people, you don't know how they're going to understand things, so I think you need to explain it a little better.
Okay, so basically a night host means I host in bars. I host events as well. But right now, because I can't do both events and school, events are more hectic. I rather do the Friday, Saturday. I host at Friday Garage.
Okay.
I'm under Choma Nation events.
All right.
So I host Friday at Garage, then Saturday I host at Kenji's, Take Face Saturdays and Fire Fridays. So basically that means you make people come to the bar, you make people drink their money that they've worked for, and you have fun with them so they enjoy their money with me, all of us. We can buy 6 bottles and then drink.
No, I'm just thinking about Caesar's next salary.
So yeah, we drink and then have fun, and then basically we live with a heavy paycheck.
All right. Next time you're hosting, make sure you take Caesar.
Where?
Caesar, before we really get into much of the conversation, is there anything you'd like to throw to the ladies?
They really, really look amazing.
Thank you.
Caesar is a gentleman. Even when you listen to the podcast, if you watch the previous episodes, Caesar is always the gentleman.
What about us?
You're not a gentleman. Nkugambe muluzu.
Thank you, Posha.
English tutor. Oh my God.
Upstairs.
You've been dying to ask something in particular to Olive.
Which one?
Please throw that question.
Which one?
Say it right now or forever hold you.
Shorts. Okay. Me, I have a question about those shorts. You guys wear the same shorts, same color, same shreds.
Which guys?
Heathens fans. Heathens. Big thighs, small thighs, no thighs.
Big booty, small
every,
booty.
They wear those. I need to know. They're pom-pom shorts, but they are shredded. They are real cut all the time. I need to know. Do you guys agree? Did you go to the same tailor and say, yo,
Nah.
you need to buy, this is rugby attire?
I think I'm not the right person to answer that. I got into it quite late, and I found the shot. So
Found the uniform. Eh?
I just played along. Yeah?
Are you in the chest or heathens?
I am not chest.
Ah,
I'm just a heathen.
you paid.
Where about the Sassola membership?
Yeah, Tina centers are.
Yeah, but anyway, before we really get further into this, we just like people to know that we're at the Fred and Winnie B&B. And what you should know about the Fred and Winnie B&B is the 10 self-contained private bedrooms. You should know about a fully equipped kitchen, power backup system, Wi-Fi, laundry services, a chef to cater to you every meal, a sumptuous buffet, breakfast with a choice of selected tropical fruits and juice, Pick up and drop off to and from Entebbe International Airport and around Uganda can be arranged. Simply call the number 0778-933-559. And it is still March, which means it's still Women's Month. So treat a lady, and for the ladies out there, treat yourself or treat someone special as well. Tell them a Fat Cat sent you for amazing discounts. So, with the ladies, I'm wondering who to start with. You're over smiling at me. Let's go with Christine. Don't smile too much. Your boo might.
I smile all the time. He knows that.
Anyway, we'd like to just know, in regards to rugby, why did you start to take part in rugby or enjoy rugby? How did that happen, and why rugby? And there are so many other sports, so many other things that you could have done with your weekends. Why?
Well, I have 2 older brothers.
Okay.
I have one that I follow immediately. He's called Calvin. Calvin tried out rugby. I remember I was still young. I was in P7. He's coming home and he's saying how, they refused him to enter. He's working out every single day. I'm like, which sport is this that's, motivating you to work out? Because he was quite lazy. So I'm wondering which sport is this? So going to Gayaza in Form 1, we go for functions at SMAC, and then we're watching the boys play. And then it's like, it's just, bodies clashing, and I'm like, this
Why are
is
you
a
looking
sport.
at the bodies or the shorts? And,
Well, it all comes.
Smile when she said smack.
All I know, she got to love rugby from SMAC. That's enough.
So yeah, it was just appetizing to watch. Yeah,
okay.
so excited.
Interesting.
English in the building.
It was
It is sad that you got to know about rugby from a school along Entebbe Road with a dusty field, but
It was appetizing. Put
just
that.
imagine she had come to Namiliango, how we should see something different. You guys are just haters.
Salad.
So yeah, that's how I got to start loving rugby.
Murriel, you are a staunch Cobs fan. You already told us you bleed blue. I don't know what was the criteria for you when you are joining the sport so that you support Cobs. Please enlighten us on why you support Cobs and how that happened also.
I have an idea, but
Would you like to give it a try?
I mean, she started Navisunsa na Miliango. Na Miliango Cobs. Put 2 and 2 together, man.
Well, in summary.
So, are you going to be answering all her questions?
No. I thought you was going to hide. I apologize.
Summary, but we did go for Sosh with Emiliano. And
To make it clear, with Edwin Zia.
Yes. Yes. Edwin, Aredo, Kimono.
Report all of them.
But yeah.
Who didn't have a social date amongst those guys you've
I
mentioned?
think they were popular.
Aredo.
Let me send you every rugby player. Before we even decided that we wanted to go with Namiliango, people already knew who was going to be there.
Posha says
They are
to
good
be sure
dates,
that Aredo didn't have one.
Bambi hit her. And then I no, I just thought about her. But so that's where the friendship started. And then of course, like, you get to know in holidays, we begin to interact, and then we realize, oh, these guys play rugby. And then, we are looking for plot, what can we do? Red will be playing this weekend, because I think when they left school they automatically joined Cobs. So that's how I started to watch. Then of course school got busy, blah blah blah. Somewhere in between, it comes back to plot, and these are almost the people that you know, and because they play for a certain club, you kind of just end up supporting that particular club. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Posha.
I guess for me, because I'm a Bugas kid, I can't
School kids of Bugolobi.
Bugolobi used to be a ghetto, and I always tell people this. Bugolobi was not always like a wealthy suburb. It used to be poor, because I was staying in Bugolobi, but I attended Kiswa Primary School, and a lot of people don't get it. But anyways, so I grew up rugby was the sport in Bugos for some odd reason. People used to play it behind the block. But then there was Michael, then there was the Odong Bryans. So rugby had always been that sport, but I knew I hated football. I still hate football to date. So the other option was rugby from when I was a kid. So I grew up seeing it. Then naturally, I think when I was on campus, I was actually in Impis when I was on campus. Yes, because I loved rugby. So I was in Impis, and then when I finished campus, I chalco. But like for a lot of people, Saturday, it was the only plot. You find Saturday, there's nothing else to do. You're not going to go. Yeah, so you go, you meet people there, and then everyone used to say rugby had cute guys. So
They're very hot. They were very, very hot.
it's the
Mary,
truth.
why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
She's agreeing because when you're like in VAC and there's plot, the plot is not. People say, and you know, like when you're younger, you know, when you're younger, and then there's plot. There's where you wear your best clothes to go like to Chadon. And then all your friends are there. You remember when they used to say rugby had the hottest babes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was our era. But yeah, it was more of a childhood thing that grew into plot, and then it grew into a passion. Now it has grown into a lifetime. I'm stuck.
Yep, that is the thing about rugby. So, Olive, you told us that you joined late, as you said.
Yeah.
So, I have two questions. One, where have you been what have you been doing with your life? That is one. Then two, who brought you out of the darkness into the light?
Wow.
I'm not mentioning names, first of all, but yeah, someone actually did.
Caesar, please note that all the ladies have refused to mention names.
Yeah.
He was not my
Apart
boo.
from Muriel,
He was
because
not
she's
my boo.
single.
So
And it's not
for his
Eddie, right?
privacy, he has a boo. I don't know why.
And it's not
how-
Eddie.
Eddie? Oh no, not Eddie. No.
Okay.
So yeah, we all know Chadondo for the meets and of course the old school vibe that used to happen there. I think things have changed a little now. They play a lot of current music, but it wasn't the case before. So we used to go there for the meets and of course for the old school music. And once in a while we would land into a rugby game or something. But it wasn't such a big deal. We'll go there and the discounted beer, of course.
Now Chadondo sells beer at 6K.
Yeah, man. It's painful. It is painful to pay 6K for beer at Chadondo. But anyway, that was then. But the real entry into rugby was last year when during the Arua Sevens.
We should do a birthday anniversary.
Probably.
Because you know, in rugby, it's such a small community. You can tell when there's a new person.
You can tell when there's a hot new person.
Also that, yes. Before you be there, then all of a sudden, who's this lovely person? Oh, lovely. She's talking about this. She's bantering with people. She's doing what? There are pictures at rugby grounds. So, Arua Sevens.
Yeah. It was, I think, like 2 weeks before. I had lost my brother 2 weeks before.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. That person that brought me just randomly told me, okay, we are going to Aroa over the weekend on Friday. It was like Wednesday, and he was telling me, you need to confirm by tomorrow. I was like, guy, I have work to do. I cannot do that. He said, I don't care. I mean, you work from home, you'll work on the road. Just come. Let's just go have fun. Yeah. And then I went. And the rest is history.
Had a good time.
What was your first experience of actually watching rugby on the pitch? I'm pretty sure you didn't understand what was happening, but what was that first impression for you?
I really wasn't paying attention in Aroa. First of all, I had a terrible experience there. I donated blood, and it didn't end well.
Oh.
I had a moment for like 5 hours. I missed most of the action.
Did you
on
donate
Saturday
blood
because,
then drink beer?
It was actually before I drank beer, but on the bus we kept drinking beer.
That's
so
the thing.
The idea was I probably shouldn't have donated blood.
Yeah, you shouldn't have.
Yeah, but anyway, I missed most of the action. But at least I was looking for a certain person that I knew in rugby that I liked. at the time.
Still no names.
I think we're ready for a name.
I like Sebastian's.
Yeah.
And the pastors, we can know now.
If in future we find them.
I know, right? What if I change my mind?
This person traveled to Arua. We'll get the name.
Yeah, we will.
Oh,
Yeah,
they did,
I'm sure.
sadly.
I'm
I was
sure.
paying attention, but unfortunately they did
So
not.
it makes it easier.
Yeah.
A player.
Was it actually a
like
player, to be honest?
Just
That is
know.
the thing. There is a certain person that I was looking out for. Because I knew they would probably
did you
be there
finally
in a row.
So that means they're not heathens, people.
No, they are. They probably
They didn't go that time.
They just didn't
The thing
travel.
is this, I wasn't a heathen at the time, yes?
Yeah, you are
But
just
then the person that introduced me is a
pool is
heathen.
so
So
big.
automatically, I had to.
we have to
She's now just trying to confuse us.
confuse
No, really.
the narrow option that we
So you
had.
already knew there was someone you're interested in who used to play rugby.
I knew because I've seen rugby before and I read it in the stories and all these things. And I
This
was
person
interested in a
appears in the
particular
story.
In the story.
I think I know the person. Not a
heathen.
No. I know that. I know that heathen.
Is he a heathen or not?
But it's
No.
2023. Is
No, he's not.
He's not.
Okay, we are there.
okay.
Yeah, you guys are
One by
doing
one makes
sengas
a
and
band,
kojas.
Just wait. I'll mislead them until they give up.
But yeah, anyway, just looking at rugby, particularly for your teams that you respectively support and also rugby in general, what is that thing that makes you proud of the sport? And also, what is that one thing that you hate about the sport? Maybe I'll start with you, Murriel, on this one.
Wanange Pioneer, am I the eldest?
Yeah.
What do I like so much? A sense of brotherhood. That despite what happens, very many times we watch games and not just in Cobs.
Oh yeah, she fears cats. I was not planning to tell her, and then you also fear cats. So we have a bunch of ladies that fear cats.
No, girls
And-
fear cats.
No, should I fear
I
cats?
fear cats. Do you fear cats?
We apologize. You're in the Fat Cats Lair right
That
now.
was a small cat.
That was a small cat, but sorry about that, Murriel.
Anyway, so not just the brotherhood in Cobs, but even after we've played, let's say, people say the biggest rivalry is between Cobs and Heathens. But once the final whistle blows, it ends on the pitch. Like, I like the fact that once we're out there, yes, we came to win, you won, it's fine. We still respect you, you
Yeah.
respect us. We are one family. Like, they'll still say maybe there's something happening the next weekend and we'll still all show up. And for me, it's a thing of something has happened within the community, and despite us having different factions, we all come together and say we are going to do this because we are one. Yeah. What I don't like, in particular to rugby,
Yes.
of course, there's so many things that have been said before, like match officiating and things like that. But what I really don't like in respect to women is that sometimes women are disrespected, and in very many forms. Like, I don't want to pinpoint maybe one incident, but sometimes you'll see something happen, and I will cringe because I feel like that was disrespectful. But because of the banter, the noise, the alcohol, you blame it on alcohol. But I think that even when we get excited, there are just certain boundaries that we need to respect. If say maybe I'm just giving a scenario. If a lady walked by and she had stained, yeah, she's in her period and she had stained. I don't even want to think about what would be going on the pitch at that moment. Like, that is something where I would want to see that people understand that, yes, while women have come and they may not know so much about the game, just respect the fact that they are there.
They've come.
Like, that alone is no matter what my reason has been, whether it is because my boyfriend is playing for the team, or probably because I was just idle. I happened to land at Legends, and then I found this game and said, let me sit in the stands. You don't know why I'm there, but I find that new people are usually bullied a lot.
This is true.
And it's if I was the one, like some of us are macho, you'll say something to me and I'll probably say something back, but I'll probably never come back. Like I'll just go and say, oh, rugby fans are hooligans and things like that. So for me, that's what I don't like.
Yeah.
Okay.
My question about that, I've always wondered, there's a time we've all been at Legends. I'm going to speak about Legends because where I sit in the bleachers most of the time.
Your sitting room.
Yeah. So we are in the bleachers and making noise and supporting, and then incidents happen. It happens to both men and women. Really, like a man passes, like let's say a Heathens fan, then we'll check for his tummy, we'll check for he has no hair and all that stuff. And then a lady passes and it's time for us to do the same. My question is, where do we draw the line? Because I want to confess, I also do it. Like we are many, and say someone comes with, girls can wear those long, like coat-like things, but silky. And then, okay, one person passed and she had a flowery, silky thing. And we're all making noise. We're literally heckling. Now, if it's a man, it's okay. I want to believe.
I think it isn't okay.
So I want to know where the boundary is, because we really heckle a lot at Legends.
Yeah.
Okay, everywhere,
happens
anyway,
everywhere.
when people pass in front, so much that me myself, I can't. If I come late for a match, I can never pass in front of fans.
It's
I
like
always
high
pass
school.
behind.
Remember when you like campus, there are holes you'd never pass. Like to go to, what was that boys thing? Lumumba. So that's how new fans feel at a rugby place. Because then you've come late and you want to pass and go and sit. And oh my God, how do I pass? If you can make an adult feel like that, an adult who makes money, probably has kids.
More money than you who is screaming. No, I've seen white pass and people scream, don't speak. Yeah. So I think that, well, we're in women's month and there should be a lot of focus on women, but in terms of respect, it should go both ways. That even when the men, like, it doesn't matter. Like, unless you and I have a personal relationship and I know you're not going to take it the wrong way, like probably that is how our relationship has been built. I understand you, you understand me. But if you don't know me, I was going to use foul language, oh God. If you don't know me, like, just, we are both here to watch the game. I've most likely paid, maybe I even paid for VIP, but I wanted to sit.
And I'm going to buy drinks.
Things like that.
I'm going to buy drinks. I'm going to eat food. You're probably not. And you're going to make me feel uncomfortable. Me, even if you know me blood.
We shouldn't be known like that sport. You see how when you tell people, oh, I'm going to watch rugby. Oh, that rowdy game. Like, that impression is what we need to change in people's minds.
There's a time I was at King's Park.
It has to be King's Park.
King's Park.
Drink water.
I was at King's Park and was apparently the last season's game, and Posha passed, and I shouted her name. I promise Posha acted like she turned on like, how the hell do you shout my name? Are you saying? And it was like,
Never again.
Never again.
You never shouted my name.
She didn't see you.
Have you seen that meme? That meme of like, I called you and he didn't even say hi to me. The person could have been lit. And they're singing like triples and stuff.
Why would you shout someone's name? Think about
It's
it.
just that we're just too used to it.
Did you want him to call you?
No, but you see, I like to tell people, if you hoot at me on the road, I don't turn. Never. Like, I'm crossing the road and you hoot. I don't turn. I'd say you're hooting because what? You've seen me. It's just disrespectful.
There's a time I took a border from NBS and I was sloping down and someone was in a car and they knew me. And they shouted, Posha! And we do what? Am I going to stop and say, Pana and go So immediately, I try and Peter.
Because that's where I want to know, where do we draw the line? Because maybe we as rugby fans don't know. Maybe we find it banter, you call it banter or normal sports heckling. But I think sometimes really, really, really go over the line.
when we look at other people who do the sports heckling, do they do it the way you do it?
Well,
Yeah, it's actually something that we were supposed to talk about, but since it's already here, I think we should address it. Especially this particular week, there's been a lot of back and forth about banter and how people are bantering, and it has been between majorly the highlight of this week was between two ladies. I don't know what you guys have to say about banter and how should it be addressed, because when they argue about what banter is and what's not banter, one, you are arguing on Twitter with probably someone you don't know, or you don't know where they are, or what they are doing, or what manners they have. So usually there are no rules. But then again, if you consider yourself a sports community, and particularly if you consider yourselves women, then shouldn't there be a boundary that should not be crossed? So I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Maybe I'll start with you.
Again, I think that banter is just maybe loud noise or whatever. Banter can be respectful. When Heathens fans gather and they are singing those songs,
their songs.
Pika,
How does it-
pika,
Exactly.
pika.
how does someone singing about their club, about how they are going to win, yeah? Why should I be angry at that? You get? So even while we know that there are differences, there are days when Posha and I don't sit close to each other like this, please. It is a thing of see me after the game, yeah? And after the game, we'll probably talk about the game, but I'm not going to say, oh, you guys were shitty, or you did this, or you, like, it's not going to be a thing about attacking her person and making her feel inferior. If it is that they didn't play a good game, they didn't play a good game. We will both know, like, of course it might somehow, somewhere come down to the ref was more on you guys' side or things like that. But like, it doesn't have to come to reach a point where you're telling someone,
You're adding their personal.
yes, like,
Yeah.
why must, whether I have what?
If it's about the game, it's about the game.
Yes, if it's about the game, let it be about the game. But just because someone crossed and that day they probably walked out of their house and they're wearing shorts.
And you don't like how their legs are shaped. Like, who says we like how your legs are shaped now?
like body shape is actually a big
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Yeah.
actually a big thing. We're laughing, but it's
If
a
it's
big
going
thing.
to attack someone's person, someone's intelligence, if you're going to call me stupid, like, boss, did you take me to school?
Thank you. Anyway, if I'm to talk about banter, because for me, I do mental health as well. And that is where the lines cross. Personally, when I joined media, I as if gave a part of myself to the world. And that's the one thing you learn when you're in the media space. So for me, there are people who abuse me, but there are people. But I am so glad that I am not in the list of people who get abused so much. Me, it's normally like one person in like 3 months because I've said something and they don't agree to it. So they tend to come and... My biggest qualm is especially, and I had an issue with an account handler. So I am big on the digital space because I use my digital space. She uses hers. I think we all do to make money. So when clubs do not understand why we have this digital, the relevance of actually being present digitally, it loses. Because when we started out tweeting a lot, there was a wave. And then with Rugby Sevens, remember, a lot of people came because there was a wave. That is what it is for. However, when you use, and I have a problem, like I said, with club handlers, you come and abuse me as a tie. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You cannot be, let's say, maybe Dungo, and you're handling the Cobbs account, and you have a problem with Olivia, and then oftentimes you channel your depression into how you feel about Olivia. That is just very wrong, because then you're a representation of the entire club. So if Cobbs abuses me, and yet it's Dungo, it feels like the whole of Cobbs is against me. And then before we know it, there's that thin line is crossed because someone is representing a whole group. A lot of times, I was having a chat with a friend today because we are fundraising. We're going to do something for Chisano's dad. Yeah. And we're giving an example of a woman, and I'm glad you've brought a woman up. And this woman had one time, this is a woman who commented and said I was responsible for breaking my boyfriend's leg. As in,
Wow.
so I looked for her. Actually, first zoom for me the camera. Madam, I looked for you. I saw what you looked like. And I wondered why you're coming for me. But turns out she does this all the time. So she told someone, well, you killed your husband. So if people don't get that we are crossing lines, and these are, you come as Ruben and finish me. That's okay. That's just Ruben. And me, I block because I don't have that time. Sikumani, you don't feed me. And you're not going to say, oh, because you're, let's say, let me give an example. So Olivia is a heathen. So if me and Olivia don't get along, are you saying I'm not going to talk to Wokos? Are you saying I'm not going to talk to Ofoeworth? Are you saying the other people are not going to be my friend because of one person? Are you going to take away all my rugby years because you've just woken up today with your 200 followers and you think you can come and...
About 200 followers. This is the time when we use the other 50 cent meme. All the 200 followers are like, what do you say fuck me for?
Let me tell you, social media is meant to actually build. People are using it for the wrong things. And a lot of times when because me, I want the people who abuse me to know, I research you, I find out what you look like, what you do for a living, what's causing you to be so sad.
Small.
What's causing you to be so sad? Remember me, I told you I can have one in like 3 months. Yeah. So then I'm like, let me first look at this now. Then I see the person and I feel sad because then I cannot attack you back because I probably know worse. Rugby is family. So a lot of people also, because they are so, I like that someone used the word ghetto this week, because they are so ghetto. And this is not because, oh, you grew up where I grew up in Naguru, so you can't come at me with that. So they have that thing of, no, it's because you're ghetto in your head. And because you're ghetto in your head, you're so accustomed to abusing people in Uganda. So you translate your Kaluganda into English, and then boo, you've bantered us. City are lost, city are danger.
Anyway,
Christine.
Speaking to Christine. Now we have been talking about people with 200 followers, and then Posha getting her one attack every 3 months.
Yeah.
Now, Christine, I have observed from afar. You're a person that gets quite the attention online.
Yeah.
Because how do you deal with it? Because there are times I also take time to go through the comments, and even me, I'm like, how is this girl even dealing with all this stuff?
How did she?
What did you know? Sometimes maybe you ask yourself, what did she do to all these people?
Exactly. You ask yourself that at some point in time, but then, when you're going to go, like Posha said, if you're going to start working on social media, if you're going to use social media as your money-making tool, you're going to have to build a wall inside yourself. You're going to literally be there, and you're going to have to. I think I don't know. I have guidance from my manager, stroke brother, Roger. So it's like he tells you if a post you've put up there is your personal view, is your view, and you feel like people are not going to agree with it, or you feel like they're disagreeing with what you have to say, mute it. Okay. Move on. Mute it, move on. Like, some comments can actually make you laugh. As in, you grow, you just, at first, you know how people be like, oh, social media can depress me. It doesn't. To me, it's like you build a certain type of fence of where you know yourself, you know your self-worth, you know who you are outside social media. You know, I am a lovable person. I am a nice person. I have these people who genuinely love me without knowing who I am on social media. You get, you have people, you have a support system around you that basically knows who you are outside social media. Those people are very vital.
I love you, Christine.
I love you. The problem is if you dwell on your social media life as your everyday, that's when you get depressed. But if you have social media and you know, I have my friends, I have my people, even if I woke up in the morning and deleted my social media, they'll be there. You get, that's your root, that's your foundation, those are your roots to the tree. So you can easily branch out, and you know, someone is coming to you. The funniest comment I've ever gotten. It was supposed to actually be very rude, but it was so funny. I've actually been at a club just hosting, and then not hosting, actually went to just be there, and then someone told me on the microphone, an MC.
On the microphone?
Yeah. An MC told me, Nampera akabina kagaza chinga toka kozesa.
Wow.
On the microphone. You know, we had Cask Lounge and everyone is looking at Nampera.
I would sue for damage.
I was like, okay, you know what? That's all right. That's all right. I smelled about it, and literally it did not affect me. Other people around me will be more affected than me. Yeah. And I'm like, guys, relax. Like,
I think
breathe.
it was great not to give them that energy, because that's what they were looking for.
But it takes
it takes a lot.
Guys, it takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
It's honestly, first of all, you should
You're
know
actually
yourself
a better
outside.
person than me.
You should know yourself outside social media.
Than me.
See, I wanted to ask Olive. I don't know why I think it's different at Chadondo, but I want to be proved wrong or right. Do Chadondo men, let me use the term Chadondo men, do they, okay, I'm never at Chadondo, really, rarely. So do Chadondo men, do they heckle? Like, those instances were giving you demeaning people, especially women in the rugby. I just find them a little bit more mature than everyone else. I want to know.
Is it because you don't hang there?
Maybe that's why I'm asking.
I feel like they just overstay.
I've not seen it happening at Chad. No, by the way, I sit down a lot because my gang is down. So yeah, I sit down a lot. No, I've not seen it happening. You know, during the games, I think the setup at Chadondo is quite different. Most of the times when you come late, you won't go to the stands, or if you're going to the stands, then you're going there because you know your people are already there, and you pass behind, not up front. Unlike legends, because at legends you're supposed to, like, you know. So the setup probably changes everything, but yeah, people don't have the time. The others that are seated on this edge near the counters are focusing on the field, so they really don't have time for watching who comes in and what not.
Have you been affected by any comments online?
No, not really. I think okay, maybe it's a good thing that I know most of the people that are doing the annoying things. They can't come at me for any reason, but I don't even give them the reason to do so. I'm not Posha, I'm not famous. My 200 followers. No one gives a shit, man. They'll just laugh at it. So I wanted to share my ideas about just talking rugby and banter ends at rugby. I think they have exhausted the banter regarding clubs. They'll tell you, they'll talk about Mibogoya,
and you've heard it before.
Yeah, like they have run out of things to say about the flooding pitch or whatever, and that is all they have to say. Yeah. Let's talk. We'll never forgive that guy.
Great, that's clever.
Now that's banter.
Now that is standard.
You know, it is standard, but it's we have run out of those things. People no longer feel the
I think just people sometimes just become too petty and they want to see you.
So you see, Olivia.
No, I know what you're saying is true. I have seen what they do and I don't like it. But I'm saying I think they cross borders because there are
no more creative ideas Exactly. I think if banter was about the game, like let's say if people made jokes around how Rams almost finished.
I just remember something. There were those stool memes.
Yes, you see, like there was still now that's banter.
Us a whole week. We need bigger things.
Then get bigger stools.
Every day something is supposed to happen until the next game.
Get bigger stools and sit the whole team on a stool.
Maybe one last question. I want to ask Posha and Christine because Posha says X, but they are pirates. Pirates has the biggest crowd of pirates are mostly campusers. All people have just left campus and have a lot of time
and jobs. Yeah. They have jobs.
They have jobs, yes, but younger generation, they have time to be online. There's a time I made the comment.
Is this your excuse of cops being boring online?
Until the Hippos fans came. But anyway, my question is this.
Before you finish and go to your question, is this your excuse for why cops is boring online?
I already... But I gave you my answer. This chap
Anyway, go ahead with your question.
My
Go
question
ahead.
is this. Let me start it this way. There's a time I gave an opinion about what was happening, and the say they call themselves the pirates.
They
bullshit
cooked him.
They gave me. That's the first time when I got thick skin online. I'm never online to put an opinion online.
How did they give you?
It was banter. It was proper banter.
Yes.
Some people crossed the line,
Yes.
but I could deal with it. My question is, it pushed me back a bit. Like I was like, I want to know these people outside being online, as in no more support. Isn't it toxic sometimes? I want to know, because these are kids, man. People who are 25, man, they can say mean things sometimes. So I want to know what's the environment at King's Park on a normal Saturday, apart from Nigos when people are busy. But
you guys are the ones who come for Nigos.
Yeah, like your brother, that whole family, that whole parents' family. Isn't it toxic sometimes? Because, man, those guys online, my goodness. Yet when you talk to them one-on-one, they're very decent human beings. But online, I need to know, does it happen?
I think let Christine start.
Yeah.
I just feel like pirates, they're like a family. It's like a cat family. Let me say cats, if you attack one, they're all going to come for you. You get, it's just like they protect each other so much. They have each other's backs through everything. And their bond is just so strong. When you find them individually, yes, that's different from when you're coming for them as a group. Because they'll want to support each other. They'll want to show the other that I got you and I got you. I feel like that's where it all comes from. Because if you're going to come at them, they're going to be like, if this one has replied, they're going to be like, I have to support, the other pirate and then say this and then say this. And I feel like that's where it comes from.
So zero toxicity.
No, pirates is more of a family. I think also we shouldn't be afraid to call out even the pirates who cross the lines. Because one thing we do not often talk about, especially when I started my spaces, one of the things I talked about was mental health in sports. I find it funny when I see people cracking jokes about mental health. One of the things I always tell people, as long as you're a human being, what Ruben goes through, you can go through. So if there are people who are crossing the lines, and I feel very sad when I see so-called elders also indulging in cross-line banter. It's very sad because then who is going to... One of the biggest things that workplaces have, I know my workplace has it, is what we call mentorship. So if we do not have mentorship, that's why we have people who are so stuck up in rugby, playing even past their years, because rugby doesn't offer more. Rugby doesn't offer, like, what more am I getting out of rugby? And this is not banter. If we had mentorship programs, including how people behave, and I love that Coach Bobby does it very well. Pirates, men are the most disciplined. Again, I spend time with them, so I cannot judge heathens and cobs. I can't talk for others, but I have seen a lot of these boys grow into men with discipline because there is mentorship. But that mentorship doesn't only stop on the field. If it's doing some damage digitally, we have to have these conversations about it, because then you're going to joke about, let me see, what can I joke about, Ruben? Anyway, let me see.
You really have about
I was trying. Okay, like we're going to joke about someone, male or female, and for you, it's going to be okay. It's going to be banter. And like I said, a lot of people who cross these lines, you're talking about people who spend a lot of time online. They have nothing else to do, and that's the truth. They are there, they see Olivia said, what, let me jump onto this, or Sanga, my numbers will grow. The reality is it will not. And then,
a lot of time.
you see, and then it doesn't address what you're going through as the person who is crossing the line, because you're just reflecting your problems for us by saying these things online, and then tomorrow you'll need the Paris community. When my mom passed, my biggest strength was the Paris community, and I'm not even I'm clubless per se, but clubs came through. So
Why
when we
clubless?
forget
Posha,
that,
stop lying.
Why
You're not
clubless?
clubless. But okay.
I think I know that story, but let's hear.
who has asked you? Who has invited you? To be honest, my mom was sick for a really long time, so I cut out everything so that I could. I'm very passionate. So even when I was in Paris, remember, I would want to. So I first needed to breathe. So now I am looking for a club.
Okay.
Just lying.
But anyway, I think you guys raise valid points. The one thing that I think the rugby community or these people that banter the wrong way, I should say, forget is that at the end of the day, one day we'll be supporting Uganda. Don't you remember like the scenes at Chadon at the Rugby Africa Sevens, which is ideally one of my best tournaments in Uganda.
Me too.
You all going to be supporting the same.
You guys clap for us. We served in the law.
Well done.
Thank you.
We'll all be supporting the same team, wearing the same colors, and I can attest to what Posha is saying, that rugby is a community beyond the game. That there are so many things that you can get. You can build networks. You can have people be there for you in tough times, but you can't do that if you brand yourself as a person who cannot get along with people just because your team lost to a certain team or your team beat a certain team. Sometimes we need to always remind ourselves about that stuff. Yeah. But anyway, aside from all the banter and that, now back to a particular question I wanted to ask. Actually, there are two kinds of questions, but let me start with this one. Would you recommend someone to date a rugby guy or someone in rugby circles? Ding, 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 ding.
Yes, I would.
And why? I
Posha, why are you giving someone else a mic?
Because I am a mic holder.
Both player and someone associated.
Both. Someone in rugby circles.
Oh my God. Yes, I would, because I like passionate men, and rugby players are very passionate.
Let us get to the bottom of this. Who at a time, let us point them out. Put their face on the screen and be like, never do it again.
Never do it again. If you're a woman who wants a passionate man, definitely a rugby fan stroke player would do it for you.
What's yours? Of course, I would recommend a rugby player.
Why?
That's enough. Don't tell us no.
What about my reasons? What about my reasons?
They just said, would you?
Why?
No, rugby men, I think it's like she's talked about it, the passion and the dedication. If someone can dedicate the sport doesn't have a lot of money.
It doesn't have money.
So if someone can still be dedicated and devoted to the sport, to travel places, just know he'll travel for you too. And be dedicated for you too.
But now you say that
for you too.
Guys, let's see.
And gym for you too. No.
Atai, who disappointed you?
Who hurt you, Atai? This is therapy.
Well, for the purposes of this podcast, I would say that ultimately men remain men. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they are rugby players or fans. They could be a soccer fan, they could be a business owner. Like, the one factor that remains is that they remain male and we remain female. But I have been on the wagon of what? My siblings? No. Do not even.
Why?
The thing I don't like, and I'm not saying that this cuts across. Yes. While I wasn't dating someone in rugby, I just know that there was a time when I was a topic in WhatsApp groups. I randomly picked up, let's say, like Caesar's phone, and then just searched for my name.
And
all groups.
Atai.
I say these ones who discuss us like this, stay away from. So for me, that's where it comes from. It really doesn't matter.
The rugby community.
It really doesn't matter. But if you find, I'm not saying that the good men are not there, because we've seen people get married. We've seen relationships flourish. So they're there. If a man can identify himself and stand out and cut himself away from, let's say, being toxic.
Where are you pointing?
No, like I'm just trying to relate. How much is that? No, but like it's very possible to find a man who fits the qualities that you're looking for, that despite all the noise, they don't identify with the noise. Yeah. So I know that they are good men, and I would recommend the good men.
Hasn't rugby changed though from those men?
I still believe men do more lugambo than women. So yes, as a general rule, it's just that with women, it's a thing of, it's very visible that we are going to do lugambo.
Yeah. I think also rugby used to be like, people used to relate it to brokenness a lot. So everyone felt like rugby players and fans were really broke people.
I think we just
But that has changed over time, because a lot of players and fans now have jobs, can afford. There was a time rugby, honestly. I don't want to mention the other sports.
The wrong people.
Really? Rugby has always had money.
Yes, I think you knew the wrong people, because it's only until you get, like, you could be, recently I was looking for a number for someone in a certain company, like I was really trying to get through to them. And then someone says, why don't you ask so and so? They work there.
Like, she's talking about the past. She's not talking about recent.
Yeah, in the past.
But these people have had jobs.
No, Atai, let me tell you, all my friends don't come for rugby games because they think guys are broke.
Okay,
and my friends are rich.
Let them stay.
We have identified something. But now coming to Olive, you're relatively new in the game. Olive, you're a beautiful woman.
You wanted to say that. Your first five then he said then he looked for that name. Until he said something.
You're very chaotic.
Okay.
You're very chaotic today.
We will attend that wedding.
Anyway, I was saying, you're a beautiful woman, and now people are noticing you in rugby circles for this and that. Tell us about you, ideally, as a person, and what you think about dating. Would you date a rugby player? Would you date a rugby person? We have been seeing. Are you? There's also that. We have been seeing cryptic tweets of sending a panty of the date thingy to someone. Then someone apparently. You were
you don't have
anyway. I don't have to say everything, but you know what I'm trying to say. Tell us
about dating. No, I'm not dating any player.
Are you dating anyone for Ruben's sake?
Anyone? Maybe not. But I think I would not recommend anyone to date a rugby player.
Drink water.
I was telling you.
The thing she's talking about, the Lugambo is massive. If he is not saying it, someone else is saying it and adding a lot of water to it. It is just toxic.
But Lugambo is everywhere.
No, it's different. With rugby, it is very different. I mean, you hear stories about yourself. And like, what the hell? I think if ever you are to date them, then one of you has to be out of the circle. It's probably come to the games and that's it. When you tend to go to Chadondo to eat the meats and vibe around these people, it is toxic.
Darling, it's worse when you meet the night session.
A lot of stories a lot of things come up.
Posha, you need to write a
you
book,
will
man.
keep answering a lot of questions, and that I don't think is
No,
healthy for any relationship.
I just think that sometimes it's good to stay out of people's lives. If I don't want to share something, like, don't push it. People want to know who the father of my child is. And I keep telling people, I'm so glad
He's not in
he's
rugby.
not in rugby. He will never be caught.
There'll be a family picture someday.
No chance. No, like I'm just glad that did not happen, because why do people want to know? Like, why is it such a big deal? Murriel, you're pregnant. Who's the father? Like, in my head, I'm thinking, how is it your business?
But seriously, people are into each other's business too much. So much so that if there is no business, they'll create the business.
But I feel like also that depends on your partner. There are some partners who don't talk. Personally, my man is not a gossip.
That's why I think they are few, Bambi. They are
Is this the man that you're talking about that I know?
I think that's
Let's go.
No, a different version of him.
No. I
Seems
don't
like
know
you're
any
surprised.
version of him. I have to
As-
swear.
No, others will talk. Others, obviously, because people talk. That's something
What
I
I'm
don't take away
saying
from
is
the world.
your partner might be as quiet as they can be, but
But they'll create.
people will create
People see things and then they
But that
And I
happens in
think
every
what they call
society. At
Oksara
school,
Wandi.
anything.
It's too much.
It happens in rugby because look here, from Monday to Friday, we at work or doing whatever it is we do, then the community is almost the same. Let's say if
a
we were to
small
estimate
community.
rugby fans at one game sitting, let's say 200 people at one game sitting. Oftentimes, those same 200 people are going to be the same people. So that's why we gossip a lot because, like he said, when there's even a new face, we know that there's a new face because the community is the same. But coming from someone who has been talked about, you just have to be yourself. If you love your man and he's in rugby or football or kwepena, whatever it is your man is doing, because talk is always there. But remember, you're not dating Ruben, and because people will talk. Workspaces.
The social
Now, now imagine if, for example, you had a job and you had to date a man and still have a relationship. People, like Ruben was saying, people talk for her all the damn time. But somehow, Ataya got pregnant, carried her pregnancy, and up to date, we don't know the father of her child. We've not died.
There's like 10 fathers.
You've been wanting to say this. People talk. And you know the one thing you can never ever do when people talk is to get annoyed. Me, I'm confrontational. If you talk about me, I come and say Caesar.
I trust that I might not be annoyed, but all these things eventually get to catch up with you and your relationship. That is why I'm saying I'm better off
For
not
you,
dating. Yes.
Don't you get tempted?
sake.
It's not my podcast.
I think what I can say is whoever is dating the rugby world and these players and people, so you just have to have thick skin because
And you
if
need a
you're
lot
dating
of
a person
support.
like
Your mental health
it's
is
going to
in
abuse me for
danger.
doing this. If you're dating a person like Areto, at every game I can count how many people have sang Areto's name, and then you're the girl. If you're this jealous person, why are you hugging this one? You will not handle rugby. It's just how it is.
But why is Aredo hugging everyone?
Because he's a player. He's a celebrity.
No. Are you saying I'm not a celebrity?
But you see,
You're not going to Ronaldo going off pitch, hugging everyone.
Hugging everyone.
don't go to the
You guys
pitch.
just see that. I think people set boundaries before they reach the pitch. No, why are you hugging everyone?
What you do, you run to the pitch.
No, Ruben, Caesar. You guys,
there's an example. But
it comes down to the man. How many men are married? Does Kimono hug everyone?
he used to.
No, let me come.
Used to.
Let me come.
God, man.
Let me
And
come.
there's a way God,
No, let me come.
God treats him
Let me come.
differently. Man.
Does Kariango hug everyone? I won't stick to Cobbs. Since you're more comfortable there.
But you know, are not as famous as others, yeah?
Yeah.
Like in heathens, the same attention maybe Michael would receive is not the same who.
Say it, man.
I won't say Some people get more attention than others.
True.
And that is okay.
Yeah.
But it depends on how they carry themselves, really. You see the challenge with rugby men, yeah? Even the hugging is not our problem. It's the nightlife. And that's where most of the stories come from. Hugging a Misana. If Misana hugging can make me jealous, then I don't know, I have a problem. Hugging is not an issue. It is
don't like it.
no.
What if they didn't get the chance to hug you during
Wow.
Let me give you an example.
The night hugging.
We're playing a match and Red scored. He had a perfect game. Then the last minute, it was Hippos actually, I think. So he was going to kick and the fan came from nowhere. Remember that day
Before kicking.
before kicking, and he had a perfect, and that was the last kick of the match. And the fan came from nowhere, jumped on him, put her legs around him, like it was a proper mature hug.
That's what you call a mature.
Made noise. Now, if I want to feel if you are a jealous person and your Red's girlfriend.
No, that's different, Caesar. I'm actually glad that people find Red that attractive. That's something totally different.
I'm sorry.
No. Let me come. No, let's stick to Red. No, what I mean is, you see, like if you're dating Red, don't forgive me. If you're dating Red, and let's say a fan does that, that's from outside. As in, that's almost psycho. Why would you run during a game to put your thighs on my man? That's totally different. I'd actually be mad at the girl. The issue is in, and I've said this, and I've seen girls who struggle with their relationships in rugby. A lot of it is the nightlife, and that's where most of the stories come. Because then people are not just hugging. People, Nigos really TMI. You understand?
TMI.
So playing, yes. So that's where most of the stories come from. Daytime stories.
That's why I have them at 7 p.m.
It all just comes to the argument you have with your partner.
We're not living at 7.
But I think that
Because now you don't
in the space
understand.
that you're in, you have to understand that certain things will happen.
Yeah.
If I am dating
That's
a
what I
player
was trying to say.
and
Certain things have to happen.
let's say
He's a good player.
no, let's okay.
Good looking.
Unfortunately, I have to refer to the last game I watched, the Pirates game. So, what's his name? Lawrence Wakad. Yeah, he runs all the way, like people are screaming, like everyone can see. Let's imagine if that last try was actually what would the word be? Jesus Christ. Technical thing.
Continue.
Let's say it was Wakabi who touched down. Yeah. And we are there screaming. Like, he's had such an exceptional run. He's gotten us out of our seats. It's been like, there's so much joy. And because you're very excited, you run and
Grab him.
like, there are things that you would expect if you're dating such a person. If after that it turns into something else, then yes, I would have a problem with it. But people celebrating.
No, that's okay. That's not the problem. The problem is you're done with the match and you're there and the girl is coming, oh, hi. And, you're giving every girl who's coming around you a hug. It's just not proper. Like, if there is so much adrenaline during the game or after the game, that hug is okay. But, like, I personally would not understand if some girl has just come to you randomly and is like, oh, yeah, I know you from here. Hi, how are you? And you're hugging them. It's like, what's wrong with you?
But wait, what if he hugs the person and the girl goes away? Like,
that one is
let's pick at your
okay.
table.
I tell you, that one is okay. But then there are girls who come with agenda. You know those girls. Then she comes. Then also you're talking to her 15, 20, 30 minutes. Then Bambi, you see like a baby's there. The official babe on the side. Bamutadde wali mabali. Waiting.
Took 5 minutes.
Then
Clearly,
5 minutes is kawa.
Cannot be.
clearly, this is not one that we shall agree on. But
Me, I just can't date in the rugby world. I'm sorry. I really can't.
we just want you to date. That is important. Well, you have been around for a minute. Please wait. But anyway, as we start approaching the end of this very interesting conversation, I want to first, maybe in 1 minute or two, ask each of you to tell me about your, if you were a player or even as a fan, you have like your go-to things you do, like how your rugby Saturday is, like from the time you wake up until the time you go for games. So maybe starting with you, I'd like to know, what's your rugby Saturday like?
Typical Saturday.
Yeah, like the whole routine until you get to the pitch.
Yeah. By Friday, my replica is ironed. Sometimes I tend to not wear it, but it is always there ready. Because I know Saturday is serious business. Friday, party, most of the times. So Saturday is usually hangover treatment in the morning. But I just know I have to be somewhere at 2. I hate the 1 p.m. games now. But yeah, I just know there is a game somewhere. And even if I miss, if I delay by 30 minutes, my family knows I'm supposed to be at rugby. So they'll be like, they're not talking them rugby. So it is just automatic that there's a certain point that beyond afternoon, like say midday, there's no other business. I'm either just waiting for the o'clock or I'm treating hangover still, trying to make sure that I'm ready for the next beer at the rugby.
Okay.
Well, I think for me, the rugby Saturdays start at the beginning of the season. It's a thing of what's the calendar like? What does it look like? Where am I going? Where am I not going? So it doesn't start every Saturday is rugby Saturday. Doesn't matter whether it's off season. Even when it's off season, there's always something to do. Either clubs are hosting something, a CSR or something of the sort. So you really start planning from when the season begins. But on a normal Saturday, it's really banter online, trying to get people to come together to the game. And with outfits, it is a thing of, what are you wearing? Okay. So sometimes it depends on the game. The game, if let's say we are playing a home game, especially home games, sometimes you're not trying to prove a point. You're at home.
Yeah.
And then away games, you want to show that by the way we've come in large numbers. So you're most likely going to look for your jersey. Yeah, and then we come, watch the game, make noise. After that, maybe hang around a couple of minutes with people and then go home. Yeah.
Okay.
We have a mic. I think my Saturday is normally, like Olivia, Friday is normally hectic. It's my partying day. But Saturday depends. If my best friend has a game, then we all wake up early. But if it doesn't, I sleep in a lot. The only thing I do, by the way, on Saturday when I wake up is rugby. So I sleep, watch a lot of TV. And most games, because we stay near Kings Park, so when the games are, I can literally walk to Kings Park. So when the games are far, then you have to look for your gangos. Because rugby is a squad thing. You have to go watch with your squad and then plan for the after party. But yeah.
Okay. You have not been to rugby in a minute, unless you be to different grounds from where
Actually,
I
I
am.
have not seen her at rugby.
At all?
Yeah, at all.
The last time I did see her at a rugby ground, she was turning heads.
That's the problem. That's one
That's
of the
why you
reasons.
don't come.
No, it's not why I don't come.
Or you are advised not to come. Yes.
No, it's not like
And the
that.
manager.
It's not like that. For the times I've gone for rugby of late, obviously I go with my boyfriend. He waits for me and we go together, because if I enter that place alone, the time I tried, it's always someone at the entrance, from the entrance to when someone is trying to talk to you, say hi, how are you? No, it's just like
Why you leave Kings Park alone, man?
but it was not the last match I watched was at Chadondo, so and he was going. So it wasn't like that. It was actually not like that, but basically because he sells shades, so we have to go with the stock. I sit there with the umbrella, obviously, so that I don't have to. He has to go and support the Pirates. I sit with the umbrella, I sell while he's supporting. When there's a win, he's obviously happy, and I'm happy when he's happy. So it's basically, yeah.
Happy.
Guys, find good women, people, find Caesar.
You're asking me the same question?
No, I'm saying find a good woman.
I thought you said to find any woman.
No,
But
we don't want him to suffer. He may become small and then we'll chase him away from the fat cats.
yeah, I'll lose my job.
So anyway, great to know that. Now, I just want to know from each of you, what's your favorite rugby moment so far from all the rugby you've experienced? Christine, let's start with you. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the pitch. Could have had something that happened off pitch that was so nice for you, like a proposal, things like that.
No, it's previously I didn't attend the games, but then when the Pirates made it to the finals, I was very happy. I was very, very happy. I was actually smiling at my phone the whole time, and I was like, "Yay!" Yeah, basically, it's the latest happiest moment I've had.
Okay, that's nice.
What did you want to say, Caesar?
Please, Posha, continue.
But this man.
Continue.
I think for me it has to be Africa Sevens. Yeah. It was we worked all the time. She was so pregnant. We were in charge of the tags, the pier. So we used to run with a tie with her big stomach. But yeah, just seeing the energy the boys put in. But also for me, my mom's passing. And then when clubs came together for Haruna and Imi, that was very beautiful. It reminded me of the humanity in rugby and why we do what we do. So I'm sorry, mine are 3.
Auntie, I feel like you've talked for all of us. Africa Sevens is, yes, one of the best things I've done or contributed to. So I'm really, really proud of that. But club-wise, I don't know when that game happened. I think men are better off with statistics than us. But there's a time we beat Heathens, and I think I collapsed after that game. I know, true story. Like, I was in so much shock. I was crying. Next thing I just woke up on the, and it's only Jackie, my best friend. She was the one who was standing next to me, so she's the one who remembers me dropping on the ground. Like, I don't think because I was on the pitch, I always go to the pitch. Like, it was those things of we had not beaten Heathens in a very long time, and it happened, and I could not believe, like, my body just it left me for a moment.
Rebooted.
Yeah, it just.
You're so happy even now.
Don't fight here.
I'm thinking about it, and
Good beds on the friend and
like
We
there
just
are
go to the other
games
side.
where I will win
Send
and
the
I'll
bill
probably
later.
not be. But when you come from a place of Heathens always beat Scobs. Like there's that, and then you actually beat them.
really arming Olive here, honestly.
When she has the mic, she's getting the mic next.
But for it has been 1 year.
Favorite? I would say there are 3 as well, like Posha. The coin toss game. That was an intense game. It was an exciting one to watch to the very end. And we were there seated and we were sure, okay, we didn't even know what was happening. The coin toss happened, like, we just see our guys jumping and we're like, okay, what we won? And we didn't know how we won even. It just occurred to us that we actually won that game, but it was an intense one. Of course, the Uganda Cup. And we beat Pirates. Oh dear. We beat Pirates. It was nice.
I was in it.
It was exciting to watch the boys, the Pirates boys. They were really expecting that win. They were so ready to banter. And we beat them at their game. It was nice to watch though.
They play good rugby, we win the matches.
Anyway, one other thing is, how do we interest? Because one of the reasons why we have this podcast is also to make sure that we are showing different sides of the game. It's not only about the complexities or the staunchness of the game and who came from which school and how you understand the rules, but that rugby is a lifestyle. How do we get to interest more women to come and watch rugby? How do we change that mindset? And now we are talking about women. We want to understand women better. We will force the men to come. And also if the women come, the men will come.
Will always come.
But also changing that mindset that you said that women be thinking that we rugby men have no money. So to inamuka sente.
When you buy beer, the women will come.
I was speaking for
They can always come.
You can find
It's not that.
Actually, I think Legends is why
You just
Legends people like being in groups. Not
you don't. I find Legends the most boring place ever.
Let's review the game without beer.
Up to what time? That's why babes leave.
Legends boring because it's
But
expensive.
Olive, you cannot say that.
6K. How much
You
beer?
guys cannot say that people are not
It's
buying
quite
beer.
normal, guy.
You guys cannot say
Okay, you're not buying enough beer.
You're not
buying enough beer.
Oh, you want whiskey?
I come, I can afford my beer. But if my girls want to come and I have to pay for their
and
beer,
that's the truth.
then I'm not bringing them, man.
Yeah.
But be sure that you're going to
Hang
sponsor
around
and see
the
how I
right
bring my
men.
people.
Hang around the right men.
Oh,
Things
dear.
packed in a whiskey.
Yeah, oh dear. Only.
Anyway, yes, can you please understand how can we get more women to be
I
part?
think for me it goes down to the PR perspective, right from club level to the union level. We're doing a slow job. We've improved in the last 1 year compared to how rugby was in the past. For a rugby game, you had to really know a staunch rugby person, but now everything is on social media, so we've improved. The challenge with that is we're attracting the same people. We are not doing the extraordinary things. For example, I was talking about a CSR. Clubs are not doing that. There are people who are interested in CSR. Now, at least we have different avenues that cut out game highlights and whatnot. So even if someone doesn't understand, we need more of that. We need more of those game highlights. We need more media and PR when it comes to rugby, not just for the big games. You need to show. I see there's something that a media house does where they interview the fans and I think it's pretty cool. I'm actually glad we have podcasts like this, because the more we do these many things, and then we need a website. We need all these avenues for people to go and check in. But also we need to be intentional about what we are communicating online. The ghetto-ness has to somehow reduce, because otherwise we'll keep attracting ghetto, and that's going to do nothing for our sport. We need to decide that as a sport, this is how we want to be seen, and be intentional about it. Clubs need to get jerseys. If you have already Joe, I think one of the things I enjoy the most about rugby is when we travel for like the sevens. It's fantastic. We go in huge numbers and it's fun. So whoever is in charge, I don't know if it's the main sponsor, the union. So those avenues need to be tapped into, expounded, made cooler, bigger, and funkier. We need to know our rugby players so that we don't have things like, oh, the women don't know rugby. Why don't we do like profilers of the different rugby players, even at club level, so that if I'm admiring, even the women's team, if I'm admiring Aredo, I know this guy, I know the details about him. You understand? But at the end of the day, the sport doesn't, even on just our social media, people can do like small trivias. There's a girl who did a trivia about Navagereka's book, and it was fantastic. We can do trivias of understanding a rugby game, that a goal is not called a goal, it's called a try. Those small things, small videos, slowly by slowly we grow our numbers, and then we need to have bigger, stronger partnerships. We need to stop saying that Atai works here. What is Atai doing for us with where she works to get the sport to the next level? So if we come and be a community together and we bring all these forces together, rugby is going to expound to numbers that we won't even be ready for. That's what I think.
Personally, if you all could stop staring. Oh my God.
But that's a compliment. You're a beautiful woman.
Yeah, I
Let them
know.
stay as long as they don't touch
I know, but like
and say shit. Let them not say shit. Let them not touch. Let them stay.
do you know how it feels?
Posha, you're going to be given a yellow card. You just go to the scene behind and you sleep.
According to me, the girls I have come with, it's just like you entering the place and everyone is, you're like, oh my God, like what's going on? You're literally trying to get where to sit, but you're moving and everyone's like,
stare at me, man.
there's so much of attention given to the girls who have actually come. You don't even want to put on the way you would have dressed, because I'm going to enter there and people are going to start looking at me. You understand? So if that, and also some more places with shades, because I don't know, rugby players love the sun. I do not understand.
This is a message to rugby gods, man. More shade.
It's just like
Makelele, I do agree with you.
Let me tell you, you don't want to miss anything, but then the sun.
You'd rather come at 6.
You'll be like, you know what? I'll just come in the evening. So that, and that's, I feel like that's the only complaint I have. After that, girls will start coming. If you have someone they can sit and they'll feel comfortable, they'll be like, okay,
be on Snapchat.
Yeah, be on Snapchat. And that promotes you actually.
Yeah, it does
because
promote.
if they're going to come and be there, and they can take pictures of the place in that place. It's going to be like, oh, where was that? Be like, oh yeah, I was at King's Park or something. But like, they can't even take a picture because they can't even stand still. They're like 7 men or like 7 men and like they do it with so much happiness and joy. Yeah? They'll be smiling.
Where does Christine go to?
Everywhere, yeah. Everywhere. You can't even. Literally, it's just like, you know what? You guys relax. We're all people. We're all human beings. I'm going to be here the whole time. Can't you just give me a second to take my picture?
Come and see me after.
Yeah. So I feel like that's all I have.
Kasana, please.
Kasana graveyard. Adra,
What do you
please.
You make that request,
Adra, please. Kasana katutira ku graveyard. Please. They don't have toilets. Well, they say they do. I need to see them.
Say it because I want
Tetuina toy. You'll be drinking your beer like slowly because you know when you want to pee, guy. You have to go to Africa or Livingstone to pee.
Anyway,
You had one point.
Posha, as we close this, please let us know about an initiative that you're trying to push. Then we can say bye.
Okay, first of all, this podcast has been fantastic. I think they should be only having women. This is where the men go.
If you guys are
be so technical, so
if you guys are game, we can invite you again.
Let's just try and be the men. So, Coach Atai. So let me be, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ruben. I'm the host of this podcast. And quick, without further ado, Coach Atai. What? What are your thoughts? No, we have to do this. What are your thoughts about the way, the smack, the underage boys were not allowed to play against Ngo when we had Hannah in the coach? I find it so intense. On a serious note, thank you.
They say, how was your weekend? They started, how was your weekend? And Pirates lost.
How does that make you feel? Bruno, don't say something. Wait, they give you the mic. Dungu, do you have network? I see coach who never talks. No, what's his name? Mudola never talks. Coach, we see you on the timeline. Will you say something? Nothing. Then he goes and puts the comment on the comment section and refuses to talk.
That's crazy.
On a serious note, on behalf of the ladies, we'd like to thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
On behalf that is happy.
Yeah, Muluzulu. Okay. On a serious note, guys, our good friend and Heathens player, Joachim Kisano's dad, is very ill. He's in the ICU, and the family is struggling to get funds to keep him there and take him home. So what we're doing is we're rolling up as rugby fans and supporters, but the rugby community in general, we are looking for 50 million Uganda shillings. So whatever it is you can contribute, please do. There's a poster that's going around. Please send the money to Asha. Asha is a Heathens member. Doesn't matter what club you're in, doesn't matter what fan you are. It doesn't matter if you're in rugby or not. We're calling to everyone to please, let's come support. Let's show the world the kind of brotherhood that we have. Joachim and the family, we are praying for you and we're going to do what we can.
All right, that's very, very amazing. This has been very, very interesting, I should say. Sis, I think you agree with me on
Let's
that.
hope it's longer than that podcast I did of that school from the forest.
Which school is from the forest?
No, we're not getting into that. But if you ladies are game, we can have you another time.
Set a school.
I think we'll come.
bites, please.
The man gave us water. The man gave us water. Then you say, who wants water?
But the whiskey and mint drink.
No, we're
That's
going to take
mine.
you guys out on us, the Fat Cats.
When?
When are you guys available?
No.
No. Atai has another engagement, actually.
She
That's
can
why.
have an engagement. I don't know cops people.
Thank
Cops
you,
people
guys.
are ever engaged. Never to buy drinks.
Okay, all right.
Guys, thank you for being part of this episode of the Fat Cats Rugby podcast. We always sing about you guys engaging with us on social media, about following us on YouTube and subscribing and commenting and just letting us know everything. And we have got some interesting feedback today from Posha, but we appreciate everything and see you next time. Thanks for listening in. Share with us your thoughts from today's episode, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.